Welcome to PADNET Presents. I'm your host, Derek J. Simpson, and it's our goal to introduce guests that will inform, engage, and empower you by the stories that they tell. And on this particular edition of PADNET Presents, I have the pleasure and the honor of having a conversation with someone who I have great respect for. I was told once, and I just mentioned to him, that if you live in Long Beach and you say you don't know Justin Rudd, then maybe you really don't live in Long Beach. Welcome, Justin.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yes, yes. It's, you know, you and I have this little banter about, you know, Roll Tide, and there's this other school in Alabama that you appreciate.
Auburn.
Yeah, that's cool. But we're both Alabama natives, you know, small world,
Right.
huh?
Yes, grew up there 26 years,
Right.
and then moved to California. Loved it there,
Right.
and get to go back once or twice a year.
Yes, yes, and I go home for Mardi Gras, and
Yeah.
you go home for Christmas. And interesting story is that my high school, the one game that I dreaded every year was going to Dothan, because I don't know what they fed those guys back in my day, but they were always like looking up at mountains, you
Yeah.
know, and I'd always come home hurt.
Oh.
That was a long bus ride, Justin. But moving on from sports,
Okay.
let's talk about what you're doing here in Long Beach. And I know that when you moved out here, and at some point in life, you adopted this motto of explore, dream, and discover. Where did that come from, and why is that important to you?
You know, when I started doing events and projects in Long Beach about 16 years ago, it's just something that we had found online, and we just decided to go with it. It just says explore, dream, and discover, and it's taken from a Mark Twain quote, and it goes a little deeper, but we just use that section of the quote, and I just feel that that's what I want to happen with the things that I'm involved with. We want people to explore Long Beach, the community. We want to explore the environment and animal welfare projects, dream about what can happen, what we can make better, and just continue to discover things over and over again. Like that.
Knowing you and thinking about all the many projects that you have going on, I think that sort of prevails throughout, whether it's with people who are on your community action team or the animals that you support in the community, you have a great affection for. That's a strong motivator, isn't it?
Absolutely. We do about 60-something events, projects, and contests a year,
Right.
and each of them are just things that I love, that I've enjoyed, and that I want to continue to explore and discover, and that's why I keep doing all these things that I'm doing.
Yeah. Now, when you talk about the community action team, you talk about helping folks find something that is exciting that they can experience. Have you found that people express that excitement and appreciation for you engaging them along the way?
Yeah, some people will tell me, absolutely. I got a note in the mail yesterday from my new pastor, and I just love that people continue to give thanks, and I give thanks to other people as well, and just to encourage people for opening doors and opening our minds to the things that are out there in this world.
You mentioned your pastor, and I read about you that you've actually read the Bible from cover to cover.
Absolutely, yes.
Wow.
And I've read it cover to cover, but I've also read parts of it, you know, over the years. I grew up going to church, and it's a big part of who I am.
Right, and I know growing up in the South that's very important.
Yeah.
In terms of the culture. Do you find that your engagement with the community action team and in the community and in the church, I know that during the holidays, for instance, you had a brass concert, was it?
Yeah, we had a 36-piece or 26-piece brass and percussion ensemble, full house. Yeah, going to church and just the things that have been taught from the Bible, just about being of service and helping people and encouraging people. Those are things that I will always carry with me and will continue to promote. And I just feel that I'm at the right place and the right time. God put me right here in Long Beach to do what I'm doing.
Right.
And it's just, these are things I could not be doing back in Southeast Alabama. Or I guess I could, but on a much smaller scale.
Right, right. And that sort of pebble in the water that you are is really spreading, because I find that when Thanksgiving of 2014, I attended the turkey trot.
Oh, yeah.
And it was cool to see so many people out there, and you can tell me how many maybe. But what was really intriguing to me was to see the part where the little kids had their own race. And when they said go, I saw them just take off sprinting, and I'm thinking, man, they're going to burn out. And a few minutes later, they came sprinting back.
Sprinting
and I was
back,
like,
exactly.
whoa, where did they get the energy for that?
And it's a half mile. We call it the half mile wing ding. But we have
Okay.
about 5,000 runners and walkers on Thanksgiving each year. And that's the big fundraiser for my nonprofit. In fact, it funds my nonprofit for the year.
Okay, so that's your biggest event then?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Now, you mentioned 60 some odd events,
Yeah.
but what would be some of the other major events that, for someone who doesn't know Justin Rudd or Belmont Shores?
Well, each Halloween we have the hot dog Halloween parade. It's about 600 to 700 dogs dressed up in Halloween costumes, and there's several thousand spectators.
Right. And their owners are dressed up as
Absolutely,
well.
they do too.
Which is hilarious.
Yes, and then we do the Bulldog Beauty Contest in February each year, somewhere around Valentine's.
Right.
And we get about 200 something English Bulldogs. It's the world's largest gathering of English Bulldogs.
Wow.
Yes, and it's all built around pet adoption fairs, both of those two events.
Okay.
And it allows people to come and look for dogs and cats and hopefully adopt one of them to take home. Some of the other events, though, include the monthly 30-minute beach cleanup. We've been doing it for more than 15 years now, and I organize about 100 people that come to volunteer all ages on the third Saturday every month. And rain or shine, we're out there.
Now, I know, speaking of rain, and in the month of December, we received a lot of rain.
Yes.
And we were talking earlier about the mountains of debris that are there. So I would imagine you were pretty busy during those times, huh?
Absolutely. Anytime there's a heavy rainfall or a first rain of the season, all of the debris that collects along the Los Angeles River, all the debris that washes into the LA River from storm drains that are along along the river, and it washes into the bay in Long Beach and then washes ashore, and then the city of Long Beach and volunteers like we have come out and help to pick that up. And that happens every day. Trash washes ashore every day, but especially after a big rainstorm, there's big mounds of trash that the city's able to bulldoze into, we call them haystacks.
Yeah. Now, going back to the pets for a moment, because I don't want to miss the opportunity. Maybe it's too late for this show for people to donate for Christmas, but you do have a donation process for pets during the holiday season. Can you share more about what that was?
Yeah, one of the events I started about 15 years ago is Operation Santa Paws. And basically we collect toys and treats and shelter cleaning supplies for shelters and rescue organizations in the Southern California area. And what we've done after we started it here in Long Beach, we've expanded it. We've now got affiliates all around the country. So probably 30-something states have Operation Santa Paws collections, and then anybody can do this. They can use our logo, use our name, collect toy treats for shelter dogs and cats, and then go and deliver them on the Saturday before Christmas.
Wing Ding, Santa Paws.
Yeah.
Do you sit up at night thinking of all these, or people come to you with these names, or you're just that creative? What?
You know, you just, just something pops in your mind and you just go with it.
That's it.
Run with it, yeah.
Now, nationally, you're mentioning that particular program has gone nationally, and I read one stat. You've been on national public television shows like I think Leno, and you were in New York Times, and of course now you're on PADNET, so you're international.
Everywhere.
So, yeah, you're everywhere around the universe. But what was that experience like for you? Because I believe when you were on Leno, it was with, at that time, was it Rosie?
Rosie was my first bulldog. I got her, well actually my partner got her, and then I was able to go on the Tonight Show with Jay Leno and talk about the dog parades that we're doing.
Right.
And you know, Jay likes to make fun of people with dressing up dogs, but you know, it's also some friendly banter. We're doing that, but they're dressed up for maybe 30 minutes, raising thousands of dollars to help other dogs and cats that are in need. So yeah, that was an awesome experience. And then being written about in the Wall Street Journal for our Bulldog Beauty Contest on the front page, no doubt. And that's huge publicity for our community action team and our hot dogs organization.
And that leads, I would imagine, then to those great initiatives that you begin right here in Long Beach.
Absolutely.
Getting root around the nation, or maybe around the world in some ways.
I think to take advantage of opportunities that you're given, whether it's to be on PADNET or to be in the Wall Street Journal or to go on NBC, a national show, or the Today Show to talk about the kids, 4th of July kids bike parade. Whatever it is, take advantage of opportunities and let people know what you're doing. I think if you don't, if you don't let people know what you're doing, they're not going to know what you're doing. So I think it's important what my nonprofit organization is doing, and I want people to know that, and I take advantage of opportunities to share.
Now, you didn't just come from Ozark and Dothan area to California and jump right into being, you know, the lead of the community action team. I mean, you kind of had to put in your dues, and part of that, as you were making other things happen, was you are, or still are, a coach for beauty pageant contestants.
I am. In college, I started helping, volunteering at a local Miss America preliminary. And then after college, a friend and I started local preliminaries for Miss USA and Miss Teen USA in Dothan, Alabama. So Southeast Alabama. And our local title holders won at the state level and competed at Miss USA and Miss Teen USA and did very well. And then the next year, our local title holders did the same thing. They won the state level and competed at Miss USA and Teen USA. And then other women would start asking me to help get them prepared. And when I say help prepare and help coach, I don't mean makeup and dresses and all that stuff. I coach interview skill. So it's asking questions in a private interview or on a panel interview and on stage questions.
So how am I doing so far? I mean, I'm not going to be Miss USA, but okay. Yeah.
Mr. USA.
Mr. USA, there you go, okay. So when you look at that now, is that something that you find that you're still sought after? And so it's a twofold question, I guess. You're still doing it. And if someone's watching this show right now, and maybe it's some young lady who aspires to do something like that, what would you say to them about pursuing, you know, such a dream?
Well, I think there's a big misconception about pageants, that it's just what they see on TV, like those little girls putting on all this makeup and being crazy and throwing fits. It's not about that. I happen to run and own the Miss Long Beach pageant as well. And what we try to do is, it's not a beauty pageant. We just call it a pageant. And it's an opportunity for them to share some sort of a message or a platform issue, whether it be helping the Ronald McDonald House or helping kids with cancer or helping the homeless situation in downtown Long Beach. So it's championing some cause for a year and taking advantage of being in the spotlight, so to speak, for 1 year. That's what it's about.
Great,
Yeah.
great. We're having a great conversation with Justin Rudd. We're going to take a quick break and come back and find out more about what he's doing with his community action team here in the city of Long Beach.
It's very pet friendly. Everybody has a dog in Long Beach. It's Dog City.
Well, there's everything to do here. You got the Pike, you got Queen Mary, you got the beaches, you got paddle boarding, surfing. You go half a mile that way, you got surfing, you got downtown.
I just think it's the most incredible, most beautiful, most unique city, which has so much to offer. So I love it here and I'll never leave.
Hello, I'm Barry Kogert with the Jazz Angels. We've created an environment where seasoned jazz professionals and young students perform side by side. Our students range in age from 10 to 19 and come from a wide variety of backgrounds and schools. The jazz bands are organized by skill level rather than age. If you want to have a positive impact on our youth, get involved with the Jazz Angel team or make a tax-deductible donation. Please visit www.jazzangel.org or call 562-981-8410. Thank you.
Welcome back to PADNET Presents. I'm your host, Derek J. Simpson. I'm also the Executive Director of the Long Beach Community Action Partnership here at PADNET. And we're having fun here talking with the unofficial ombudsman of Belmont Shore, Mr. Justin Rudd. I've read that that was one of your titles, one of many titles. And as that ombudsman, not only are you influencing greatly what happens here civically in the city of Long Beach. And as we heard in the first part of this particular program, how some of your programs have even spread across the United States, but you took it, as only Justin would, just another step higher and actually went to Africa and had a great experience there. Can you share how that was?
Yeah. Back in college, I went to Zambia for the first time on a missions trip, and I'm also a singer, so I went with a singing team, and we sang in nursing homes, schools, and in churches, and it was just pretty amazing for the month that we were there, helping the people. But that opened my eyes to Africa, and then I went back 3 years ago to Kenya and Uganda, and served there for a few weeks. And what we do there is work with an organization up in Lakewood called Tumaini. Tumaini means hope in Swahili. Wow. And what we do is go and work with the AIDS orphans that live there, kids that have lost their parents to the AIDS epidemic. And then we try to help them with their schooling. They have to pay to go to school there, and we try to help people here, try to get people here to help them with sponsorships to go to school, for medical care, and for some spiritual guidance. I've been able to go back 3 times, going back next year as well.
How's it going with the support from people here for the cause?
Yeah, fantastic. This year, 164 kids were, in 2014, 164 kids were additionally being able to be sponsored. So it's pretty great.
Wow.
Yeah.
So do you find that, because if I'm not mistaken, because I was following you on Facebook, you had others from Long Beach as well go with you?
Yeah, I went with a team of, there were 5 of us in 2014, and the years before, about 15 of us and about 12 of us. Wow. So it was a smaller team, but good work is happening.
So it's no wonder then, out of the 10 million people in LA County, you were once selected as one of the 25 most influential people in LA County, with the likes of Magic Johnson and Adam Levine and Snoop Dogg and others that they had on that list.
Yeah.
How was that experience, and what led to it?
I don't know what led to it. I just saw my name on the list, and when it came out online, I mean, I think just as surprised as anybody to be on a list with such big players as that, I mean, I'm very honored to be on that list, and I think we all do things in different ways. Right. Mine's more of a grassroots effort, and perhaps that's what they recognized for me. But very honored to be on that list. And
you're such a genuine person, Justin. I mean, I heard about you, as most people do, long before they meet you. You know, and your reputation precedes you in a very positive way. And I read that you get over 100 emails a day in terms of people reaching out to you. And yet, when you meet someone, my impression is you're always present in the moment. I would imagine it takes a lot of energy and focus for you to do the things that you do very well. It's not that you just put on 62 events. Your events are well attended, and the community really gets behind that. What do you attribute all that to?
I mean, absolutely, it's hard work and dedication to it, and it's just being persistent with things. Right. Like when I started the Rosie's Dog Beach, it was a 3-year process, and people were saying it's not going to happen. They would write letters to the editor in the paper about some kid's going to get bitten, or somebody's going to step in dog poop, and all these bad things that could happen. And I'm just more of an optimist, and I believe that that good things are going to continue to happen in this world, and I want to be a part of that, and I want to help champion those kinds of things. And I just put my heart and my soul into it. I don't watch TV. I don't go to movies. So times like you know, people spend a lot of hours watching TV a day, and those are hours that I can put in doing something that's a little more productive, and I thrive on that.
Now, when Rosie the Dog Beach became a reality, in historical terms, was it one of the first in the state of California or the nation, or?
Not one of the first in the state of California. In fact, there is one in Huntington Beach, and that was well before ours. But in Los Angeles County, it is still the only off-leash dog, legal off-leash dog beach in the whole county. So out of the 10 million plus people that live here, it's the only place that they can legally go to. And it's very well attended. At any one time in the summer, on a sunny weekend afternoons, 100 plus dogs, plus people.
And if I'm not mistaken, it just recently expanded just a bit.
It did. It's now 4 acres.
Wow.
Yeah. It's pretty great.
Right.
It is fascinating to me. I love going up there. If you're ever having a down day, go up there and watch some dogs run around, chase tennis balls, and chase each other in big circles. I love it. Love it.
Well, I've often said if there ever were another life and I came back, I'd want to be a dog in Belmont Shore.
That's
because
right.
Thanks to you and people who follow you. I mean, they can go to restaurants now,
Yeah,
they can go to
exactly.
the beach, they've got stores that they can go in.
That's
and
right.
You've had a great influence on a lot
Now the
of that.
restaurant, it's just outside on the patio. It's not inside the
Right,
restaurants.
right.
But I love taking my dog, and it's very special for those of us who have animals, especially dogs, to be able to go and to do that legally.
Right. Now, another project that you had was that you ran every street
I did.
of Long Beach.
Yeah, in 2014, early 2014, I finished running all the streets. It took me about 7 or 8 months to do it. And what I would do is every day I would run anywhere between 5 and 12 miles, and I would come home and I would track it with a GPS device on my watch. And then I'd come home and watch where I had run, and then use a yellow highlighter and mark it off of a big giant map. And I would add to the map every day. At the end, it ended up being about a 7-foot by 7-foot map. And I literally ran every public street in the city of Long Beach, and loved every minute of it. Actually, I can't say I loved every minute of it. There were some times where I said, "What am I doing?"
Right.
And some very hot days, some very cold days, some rainy days. I would get up in the morning. I would drive 30 minutes to North Long Beach to get to my start location, run for an hour, and then 30 minutes home. That's 2 hours out of your day. But it's just a project that I set my mind to, and I did it.
What did you learn? I would imagine, I ride my bicycle through the streets of my community, and what I've learned is that, especially at night when people are getting in from work, you can smell like sometimes what's for dinner.
Yes.
When you drive through certain areas,
That's right.
or you can hear the music that's playing, or conversations of people on the sidewalk. All of that running, what did you learn about the city? I would imagine it was pretty broad spectrum.
Absolutely. I've chased by dogs in some neighborhoods.
Okay.
You'd run up on dogs behind gates. Sometimes that would scare you. Sometimes I remember running once near PCH, and there were some guys out front, and it felt like I needed to get out of that area because something was about to go down. That was scary. For the most part, though, Long Beach is a fantastic place, and it opened my eyes to what goes on in this city and who lives in this city. It's very, very diverse, and I never even knew that Long Beach went past the 605 freeway, but it does, and up past the 91.
Yeah, there's a little pocket up
Yep.
there. Hamilton
Yep.
Middle School, I think, is up there. I've learned that as well. When you think about all of your events, Justin, what do you think, because there are other people who have special events around the community, what do you think sets yours apart? What makes yours special?
I think every event is special, and it's just special for the people that come and attend them. I just try to make mine, when somebody does come to one of our events or projects, make them feel special, and just that they feel like they've gotten something out of it, whether it's just a piece about attending the Long Beach Giving Project, or whether it's some entertainment from coming to the hot dog Halloween parade, or helping, just some satisfaction knowing that they've helped clean the beach at the 30-minute beach cleanup. I think there's purpose in everything, and I want even my events, contests, and projects to all have some sort of a purpose.
Now, I know that one that I had the pleasure of participating in earlier this year, it's actually right as I came back to work from my ordeal with cancer, was the Back to Work event, where you had different speakers coming in, and it was talking about basically inspiring people who were job seekers.
That's right.
That was a very powerful experience, and you had each of the speakers videotaped as well.
We did, and they're all on YouTube. So that was our Jobs and Career Summit, and it was a series of about 19 speakers, and thank you for doing that.
Sure.
Just to come and just to give some specific advice and just some inspiration about finding work and how to get work, or get better work.
Right.
Loved it.
Did you get a lot of positive feedback from the participants as well as the speakers? I would imagine both benefited.
I continue to. Just in fact, 2 Sundays ago at church, there was the guy I was sitting next to. He was at the event, and he was a job seeker, and he just has been employed with Tesla as a result of some things that he learned from the event.
Wow.
That's pretty great.
So that makes people want to look forward to the next one.
Yeah,
then.
absolutely.
Speaking of looking forward, 62 is clearly not enough for you. I'm sure you want to go to 72. So are there things that you say, wow, if I could ever get around to it, I'd love to do X or Y? Are there any things out there that you would just like to go for?
Yes. In fact, just this last week, I came up with this, or I came across this name, and we've heard it a lot. It's called this. You do a senior project in school. I never did a senior project, was never assigned that, but I want to do a senior project. And what I want to do is photograph, because I'm a photographer as well. I want to photograph senior citizens, and I want to photograph senior dogs. And I want to try to get 50 dogs and 50 senior citizens and photograph them, and then have a paragraph or two, something special about that, and that's going to be my senior project, and then put that on exhibit. That'll be one of the things.
Wow, that's cool. So all of these things, what do you think, because you're so public in terms of everything that you do and so many people know you, what do you think is something special that they don't know about Justin that you wish they would really understand?
Most people don't know that I'm a singer. When I first moved to California, I started singing with Disney special events. I was a Dickens caroler at Disneyland, and I was in the Toy Story show. At Disneyland, I sang at the Toy Story show at El Capitan, sang at the Hollywood Bowl for the world premiere of Mulan, sang at the world premiere of Hunchback at the Superdome.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, so a singer. And I've always wanted to do some sort of a big singing show with influential people, like even some elected officials singing, or maybe it's a Christmas show with instruments and show their talent. So maybe that's in the future. That's something I would like to do.
That would be great. I think that I often find that I tell people this job is what I do, but a creative writer in terms of poetry and lyrics is what I am. And so I can wake up in the middle of the night and do that. We could go on and on talking about everything that you do and all the great impact that you have in this community, Justin, but we're out of time. And I just want to thank you, not only for being on PADNET Presents, but for all the great programs and activities that you allow people in this community to be a part of and be of greater service, because really that's what makes Long Beach such a great city, and you're a big part of that. So
thank you.
Thank you so much.
We do have an awesome city.
Yes, we do, and that Alabama connection will remain, and we'll keep doing great things
sounds
at home
good.
and
War
out
Eagle.
here too. Well, whatever. So with that said, let's thank Justin Rudd for joining us here on PADNET Presents, and thank you for being such loyal viewers of our program and following us. We hope to bring you another great show the next time. So thanks again, and have a wonderful day.